Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. In this video, I'm going to just take you through my exact warm up for when I wake up every morning. You know, obviously it changes a little bit, so maybe I'll make more of these. But generally speaking, you can get a warm up in within 5 to 10 minutes max. Okay. And a lot of people might disagree, but I'll show you exactly how it is. Definitely incorporate this into your playing. And let's get started. So one of the most important things that I tell my students all the time when it comes to warming up is you need to make sure to warm up the right hand by itself first, and then start warming up the left hand after the right hand is feeling really, really good. So let me demonstrate that real quick. So if you're familiar with Pickslanting, what I like to do is I like to do a warm up of even numbers, and then I like to do a warm up of going through odd numbered groupings. And then from there, I'll kind of just combine the two, or if I'm in a time crunch, I'll go right into the left hand warm up. So let's go through groups of 4. Okay, so when you do groups of 4, starting with the downstroke, you're basically going to want to keep the pick pointed, the pointy end up to the chest, the back end down to the ground. So that way you are picking down, up. And then every time you change a string, you'll start on a downstroke. So we're going to do E to A. Just like that, then E to A to D. Then E, A, D, G. And then E, A, D, G, B. And then go to high E. Okay, obviously a little sloppy, and that's totally normal. You just woke up. Makes a lot of sense. If you have to go a little slower, that's totally cool. Okay, now we're going to go back up the other way, but we're going to do a group of 6. And I'm always adding that extra landing spot on the next string, as you know, just to make sure that I'm not getting caught in between any strings, and the Pickslanting is good. Go to the G. Then go to the D. Whoops. Okay, then go to the A. Right. Just like that, okay? And now we're going to go back down the other way, going in groups of 2. This is usually a bit of a harder one because you have less time to react. Then get to the G. Just get to the B. And then get to the high. Okay, then from there, we're going to go back up doing a group of 3. So that means that every time you change strings, you should be doing an opposite of the previous one. So that means that when you start with high E, you're going to do down, up, down. Then the next string you do up, then back to down, then up, up. So it kind of looks like you're turning the keys. So let's start with the high E string, and then let's move to the B. So when you go to that one, make sure that you're focusing on that turn where the pointy end is down to the ground, and then the back end is going up to the sky. Okay, and then let's go down, up, down. So E, G, and E, B, and G. I literally just woke up. Okay, just go nice and slow. We're just kind of getting the blood flow and everything. So let's keep going, and let's get to the A string. So if you're doing it right, you should end on a downstroke on the A string, right? just like that. And then let's get to the low E. Okay, just like that. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down doing a group of 5. Okay, so same thing as the group of 3. Everything should be flipped. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then the same thing again. A really good thing you can do that I like to do is sometimes when I'm struggling or I'm, things are just not clicking, is to start with one of the areas of the strings or one of the strings that starts with a upstroke instead of a down. So if you mathematically figure it out ahead of time, you'll know that A string, G string are the ones that you start with an upstroke. So just start with that. So just do up, down, up, down, up on the A, and then land in a down on the D. And it should feel really awkward, which is a good thing. And then try to land on the G with the up. Then let's reset back to normal. Okay, now I'm feeling kind of good. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna just go right over to the left hand and we're gonna see what we can do with that. What I like to do with the left hand, just to get kind of a really quick warm up, I don't do a whole lot with the left hand, but usually what I wound up doing is just a mix of hammer-ons, pull-offs, trills, and then the pumping nylon exercise. So let's do some hammer-ons really quick. It'll be very, very easy. All we're gonna do is we're gonna start on the first 4 frets and we're just gonna go through all hammer-ons on all the strings. And then pull-offs backwards. And I like to do that up the fretboard, just to get the blood flowing. On fret 8, 9, 10, and then 11, and then 12, and we're good. Okay, and then another thing you can do is you can go through trills like index and middle, all the strings on 1 fret, then do index and ring 1 and 3 backwards, and then index and pinky, right? And then you're gonna do other combinations where you're gonna do middle and ring, so 2 and 3. This should feel more awkward. So it looks like my camera pretty much just stopped recording after I was doing some of the trills. So make sure you do the trills with all the individual fingers with groups of this, this, and then this. So it's like 1 and 2 going through, and then going through 2 and 3 fingers going through, and then of course the pinky and ring going through everything. And just trill those through. Those will really help you out a lot. But then the other thing that I want to make sure that you do is the pumping nylon exercise. So 5, 6, 7, 8 on the G. And all you're going to do is you're going to keep everything anchored down while the first finger hits the low E and high E, and then the A string and B string, and then the D and the G. So you're basically going from the outside hammer-ons to the low E's and the high E, and then you're going to go to the A and B string, and then you're going to go to the D and G, and you're just focusing on that independence. It kind of feels awkward, but that's kind of the point. So go through all the fingers and just knock that out. And then moving on with the rest of everything, pretty much what I do is I take a few exercises that I'm working on throughout the week. Usually I'm only working on 1 exercise or 2 exercises per week, or 1 guitar solo per week. So I usually just knock a couple of those out. So I'll do, things like a group of 4. Things things like that. And then I'll do the group of 6. And then a group of 3. And then a group of 2. Things like that are what I pretty much do. So let's go through some of those. One thing that I'm really trying to do is keep my left hand really loose and making sure that my pick slanting is good. So make sure to do some bursts. Whoops. Just like that. That's going to be really, really good for you. Beautiful. Okay, then we're going to do the group of 6. Beautiful. And then we're going to do a group of 3. Just like that. Maybe a group of 2. Maybe do some. So it's a dominant 7 arpeggio. Whoops. Just like that. Okay, all those ones are really, really good. And then from there, you're free to kind of just start doing whatever you need. So if you're working on like a specific solo, if you're working on a song, or if you got to do things for your band or whatever you're doing, then just go ahead and do that. Usually I take a break right here and then I just come back to it later on, but that's a good warm up for you. And I'll see you guys in the next video.